أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين آمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh ya Ahlul Quran. I hope and pray that you are all in the best state of health and increasing state of Iman. Ameen. Alhamdulillah. So in previous classes we have completed the two main specific articulations, right? The first was makhraj al-halaq, the throat letters, hamza, ha, ain, ha, ghain, kha. And the second articulation point was our lips, makhraj ash-shafatan, from where we pronounce four letters, ba, mim, fa, waw. Alhamdulillah. So we have completed 10 letters out of 28 Arabic alphabets. So now inshallah the remaining 18 letters are pronounced from our tongue. Yesterday we had also seen the introduction of Makhraj al-Lisan, where we divided the tongue into so many parts and also the upper roof of our mouth, right? Because it is very important for us to know our tongue and the upper roof so that we can pronounce the letters easily. Okay, inshallah you can either remember it in Arabic or in English language. There is no problem in that. Inshallah, let's discuss this thing again and then we'll start learning the letters of al-lisan separately. Okay, fine. The first thing which we learned yesterday in the introduction of makhraj al-lisan was the different parts of tongue, right? Okay. Al-lisan means tongue, okay? Lisan, it means tongue. You can either write makhraj al-lisan as a heading when you draw a table, or you can write the articulation points of tongue. Inshallah, the letters are 18. Okay, this is a tongue and we divided this tongue into 4 main parts, and those 4 parts are enough for us to learn all the 18 letters. Okay, fine. Which was the first part called as Aqsal Lisan. Okay, just like Aqsal Halaq, Aqsal Lisan. This is a part which is very far away from the lip area, right? It is nearer to the throat area but very far from the lip area. This is called as Aqsal Lisan. The second part is the middle part of a tongue. The middle part of a tongue is called as Wasatul Lisan. Wasatul Lisan. Okay, this is the middle part of our tongue, and the tip of our tongue is called as Tarful Lisan. Tarful Lisan. Okay, Aqsal Lisan, Wasatul Lisan, Tarful Lisan. You can just remember the posterior part of a tongue, the middle part of a tongue, and the tip of the tongue. Okay, and the fourth part is the edges of the tongue, which is called as Haaffatul Lisan. Okay, edges of the tongue, these are the edges of a tongue, or you can say sides of the tongue or the corners of your tongue. These are the corners. Fine, and this is called as Haaffatul Lisan in Arabic. Alhamdulillah. And the roof of our mouth, inshallah, even here we'll have to remember a few things, and you can remember that in your own language because these are very easy things. We already know the parts of our mouth, right? These are our teeth. Okay, even in the upper jaw and lower jaw there are same type of teeth. Incisor, 4 incisors and 2 canine teeth, right? And the rest of the teeth are called as molar and premolar teeth. Okay, those teeth are attached to the gum, right? This is called as gum. This is gum line. This is a gum line, and these are called as gums. Just behind the gum, after these ridges, see there are a few ridges, right? After these ridges, there is a harder palate. You will feel it is very hard over there, and that is called as a hard palate. And very far away from the hard palate, nearer to the throat area, from the where throat begins, there is a soft palate. Okay, only these things you'll have to remember. What is it? Your teeth, the gums of your teeth, of both incisors, molar and premolar teeth. Okay, there is a gum line, and just behind your gum line there are the ridges like this. behind that there is a hard palate, which if you touch your tip of a tongue to the roof, you can see, you can feel it very hard over there. If you go a little behind, just nearer to your throat region, you can see the roof is very very soft, and that is called as soft palate. Okay, alhamdulillah. Fine. So inshallah now let's see from the another image, you will understand it more better, because this is a good view here, right? Fine. Alhamdulillah. These four teeth which are of a square shape are called as incisor teeth, and these are canine. Okay. And these are molar and premolar teeth. That is it about the teeth. And the gum, you can just see this is a gum line over here in this image. Okay, the gum line. These are the gums. Okay, sometime we'll have to touch our tongue to the corners of our teeth. These are those corners, or you can see the head of our teeth. Okay, these are those corners. So remember the corners also, inshallah. And what about our tongue? This is the tip of our tongue, this is the middle part of our tongue, and at the end there is the last part of our tongue. Okay, and just above that last part is a soft palate, and here there is a hard palate. Alhamdulillah, that's it. So inshallah, let's begin to learn the letters separately. Okay, fine, inshallah. The first part of the tongue which we are going to learn is the Aqsal Lisan, that is the last part of a tongue from where only two Arabic alphabets are pronounced. The last part of a tongue from where two Arabic alphabets are pronounced. In these two letters, one letter is very easy because there is an alternate to it in English. Okay, that is letter Kaf. It is just similar like the letter K in English. Okay, but the letter Qaf is very new for you. It is not there in English language, it is there in Urdu language, but still we mispronounce it in Urdu also, and that is why we mispronounce it in Quran. Inshallah, we'll learn the makhraj separately. Okay, first let's learn the letter Qaf. How to pronounce this letter Qaf? You can draw a table with the heading called as Huruf al-Lisan. Okay, in the letter area, the first letter you should write is Qaf. In the makhraj you write Aqsal Lisan, the last part of a tongue. And in Sifat, inshallah, I'll let you know later. First, let's see the makhraj, how to pronounce this letter. Okay, this is your tongue, right? This is your tongue. The last part of a tongue, which is nearer to your soft palate, upper soft palate, that part of a tongue should touch the upper soft palate. In this image, upper soft palate is highlighted in red. You can see it is in a red or a maroon kind of color, right? And here, from here, you can see it is all the hard palate. Okay, so your tongue should touch the soft palate only. If it touches the hard palate, it sounds like calf. Okay, that is why a few sisters, wherever there is a cough, they pronounce it like calf, because actually they don't know the exact point of articulation of the letter cough. If this is a tongue and this is a point of cough, this is the point of calf, they are very near. If you just don't understand the space between this cough and calf, you will end up pronouncing cough as letter calf. Okay, and you can we have already learned in the Lehnal Jali examples, just by changing qaf and kaf, there were two different meanings. Qalbun means heart and kalbun means dog, right? We cannot change the letter. Okay, how to pronounce the letter qaf? The last part of a tongue, which is nearer to your throat area, should touch the upper soft palate only. Make sure to touch only the soft palate. If you don't know where your soft palate is, there is no problem. Put your finger inside your mouth and feel it. You will have to feel it if you want to know, so that you can pronounce the letter qaf clearly. Qaf, qa, you have to make sure the qaf should not convert into kha, and also the qaf should not convert into kaf. Okay, this will be only possible if you touch the last part of your tongue to the soft palate only, no other palate. Okay, only to the soft upper palate you have to touch it and pronounce qaf, qaqiqu, qaqiqu. Just look how soft it is, right? Qaf, qaqiqu. Okay, it should not sound khaf, kha, khi, kho. It is not khaf, and also it should not sound kaf, ka, ki, ku, because it is not kaf, it is a qaf. Okay, in the sifat column, inshallah, you will write that this is a heavy letter. There are 7 full mouth letters which are called as huruf al musta'aliya, and in that we already have learned 2, right? That is ghain and kha from makhraj al halaq. Now this is the third one. Letter qaf is a full mouth letters. These 7 letters are pronounced heavily, and this sifat is sifat lazima, that is a compulsory sifat, a permanent sifat of those letters. Okay, it is permanent sifat, so you'll have to pronounce these letters heavily. Qaf, qa, qi, qu. It is not a qalbun, it is qalbun, qa, qa. It should be heavy. How to make it heavy? By doing isti'ala. Okay, these heavy letters are called as huruf al musta'aliya. And what is isti'ala? Isti'ala means rising the back portion of your tongue towards the soft palate, which will create a very narrow space in your mouth. And when you pronounce those heavy letters by making narrow space in your mouth, they sound very heavy. It is just like full mouth letter. You eat something, you just keep something in your mouth, and you try to pronounce anything or you try to talk, you will sound very heavily, right? Those words will sound heavy, like full mouth, because the space in your mouth is very less when you keep your food in it, and when you try to speak, it will sound like you're pronouncing everything heavily. In the same way, if we rise a back portion of the tongue towards the upper soft palate, the space in the mouth becomes narrow, and that is why this is how we will pronounce the heavy letters heavily. Because few sisters say that they pronounce the can we pronounce the letter heavy letters by just encircling our mouth like oh, oh, oh. No, even if your mouth is not encircled, even if it is just open, still you should be able to pronounce it heavily, and that can happen only by doing isti'ala. What is isti'ala? Rising the back portion of your tongue, the back part of your tongue towards the upper soft palate. Okay, alhamdulillah. So inshallah, in the sifat column you'll write this is a heavy letter or full mouth letter, or you can write huruf al musta'aliya. Okay, huruf al musta'aliya is not necessary, you can just write it is a heavy letter, it is pronounced heavily. And another sifat of this letter is when we add sakin into it, that is whenever qaf is in the sakin state, we do qalqala, just like in the letter ba, we do qalqala on the letter qaf also. There are 5 letters of qalqala, in which we completed 2. One is letter ba and one is letter qaf. Okay, there are 5 letters of qalqala which are very important for you to remember. Inshallah, you will remember it easily when we complete the full classes of makharijul huruf. So now just remember, we have completed 2 letters, letter ba from ash-shafatan and letter qaf from al-lisan. Okay, in al-halaq there is no letter of qalqala. Alhamdulillah. I'll repeat the makhraj of qaf again. The last part of a tongue or the posterior part of a tongue touches the upper soft palate, and we do isti'ala, that is the rising of the back portion of the tongue, by which the letter sounds heavy. It has a sifat called qalqala when we add sakin to letter qaf, or when the qaf is in the state of sakin, we pronounce it with qalqala. Okay, alhamdulillah, it is a very easy letter if you understand the makhraj of it, inshallah. Okay, another letter kaf is also a letter of Aqsal lisan, that is the last part of your tongue, but not so last. It is bit, it is bit nearer from the last part of a tongue. Okay, you can by these 2 image recognize it easily, inshallah. See here, this is a touching point. Okay, this is a touching point in letter qaf, but in kaf, even here I'll highlight it. This is a touching point of qaf. You can see it is highlighted from the red color marking, right? This all that which is in yellow is a hard palate. So for the letter kaf, you should touch between hard and soft palate. But if you are not understanding the makhraj of kaf clearly, it is okay. It is just like the English letter K. Okay, just how you pronounce the letter K in kite, keys, the same way the letter kaf is also pronounced. Alhamdulillah. But you have to notice the makhraj, because you have to notice the makhraj so that you can differentiate between qaf and kaf, because these both letters are the most mispronounced letter. Kaf is pronounced correctly, but letter qaf can be converted into kaf if you don't know the makhraj. Okay, from this image you will see again qaf, the articulation point of qaf is here, it is here. Okay, see, it is here. Everything which is in red is a soft palate, but kaf is here, it is, all this part is aqsal lisan. Okay, all this part is aqsal lisan, but the qaf is bit nearer to the throat area, and the letter kaf is not nearer to the throat area, it is nearer to the mouth area. It means you have to differentiate between qaf and kaf clearly. You cannot mix these both letters. Qaf is a heavy letter and kaf is a light letter. Okay, the letter kaf is light letter because see, the last part of a tongue is not raised up, it is just not touching, it is not towards the upper soft palate. Only the part before the letter qaf is touching between both the hard and the soft palate. Okay, the makhraj of kaf is very easy. If you are not understanding this, just pronounce it like the English letter K. Okay, but qaf is bit difficult for few students, so that so you have to remember that you will not touch the last part of your tongue to the hard palate. If you touch it to the hard palate, then it will sound ka, ki, ku. Okay, or if you try to touch the tongue, the very last part of a tongue, then it will touch the throat area and it sounds like kha, kha. Okay, make sure the qaf should not be pronounced either like kha or not like the letter kaf. Fine, alhamdulillah. So we have completed both the letters. Qaf is a heavy letter. In Sifat you will write that it is a heavy letter, and Kaf is a light letter. And the Qaf, well, we apply sakin on it, we do qalqala. Okay, and on letter Kaf we do hums. You can see this hums. Hums means continuation of the breath. Why do we do it? Inshallah you will understand while we learn sakin. Okay, Kaf is a letter of hums and it is a light letter. I'll pronounce this both letters with vowels inshallah. Qaf, qa, qi, qu. Qa, qi, qu. It is heavy. Kaf, ka, ki, ku. Ka, ki, ku. Okay, it is just like letter K. Alhamdulillah, we have completed 2 letters of Aqsal Lisan. So inshallah now we'll see the next 3 letters, that is pronounced from, these letters are pronounced from middle part of our tongue. Okay, these 3 letters are pronounced from middle part of our tongue. Which is the middle part of our tongue? We'll see it from this slide. Okay, this is the middle part actually. Okay, because you can see the tongue is very long and you may think the middle part is here somewhere. No, it is not here, it is just behind the tip of the tongue, not so middle. Fine, inshallah. So the middle tongue should touch where? Even that you will see from here, the middle part of a tongue should touch here. This is the upper hard palate. Okay, so these 3 letters which we are going to learn are all pronounced from middle part of the tongue, which are touching or which are rising towards the hard palate of the roof. Alhamdulillah. So inshallah let's see how to pronounce it separately. In letter Jim, it is just like the letter J in English but more crispier. The letter J is very soft, like we pronounce the word jam as jam, jam, jam. But if you add a letter Jim to the jam, it sounds like jam, jam, jam. The J is very strong now, right? In this way, the letter J and Jim has the same articulation, but Jim is more crispier. It sounds very hard, very tough, very strong. Okay, because it has a strong makhraj. How to pronounce it? Jim, not Jim, not Jim. It's not so softly. It is Jim, Jim. Okay, in Sifat you write it is a light letter, and also this is a letter of qalqala. In 5 qalqala letters, now this is the third one, The first was ba, the second was a qaf, and now the letter jim is the third one. Okay, this is a letter of qalqala. Alhamdulillah. How to pronounce this? The middle part of our tongue should touch the upper hard palate. It should touch the upper half hard palate. Remember, it should touch there. If you leave even a little space over there, then it sounds like Jim, Jim. Why? Because if you leave a little space over there, the air will involve while pronouncing the letter Jim, and it will make the sound of Jim like Chim, Chim. Okay, maybe sometimes you have seen a few people pronounce jam as a jam, jam, jam. Okay, this happens when you involve the air while pronouncing the letter Jim. Okay, so make sure there should be no space between your middle part of the tongue and the hard palate. No space. Okay, completely touch it and pronounce Jim, ja, ji, ju, Jim, ja, ji, ju. Okay, Alhamdulillah. It should not sound Jim, Jim. Okay, because I've seen students reciting أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Nirrajim. It is not nirrajim. It is nirrajim. Yani arrajim. It is arrajim, not jim. So make sure don't involve any kind of air or any kind of breath while pronouncing the letter jim, or it will sound like chim. Actually, the letter chim with 3 dots in the middle is a letter of Urdu. Okay, it will just sound like ch. Okay, so if you don't want to pronounce it like ch, you should make sure you should not involve any kind of breath or air while pronouncing the letter jim. Okay, no, it is not a heavy letter, it is a light letter. In a sifat column you write it is a light letter, and it has a property called qalqala. There are 5 letters of qalqala in which we completed ba in ash-shafatan, qaf in aqsal lisan, and jim in wasatul lisan. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Now let's see the second letter of Wasatul Lisan, that is middle part of our tongue. Same, the makhraj is exactly same. The difference is we should not touch the middle part of our tongue to the upper hard palate. We should not touch it. We should leave a very little space, very little. You can see from this image the space is very little. Why? To create a shushing sound. This letter sheen is just like English word sh. Shh. This kind of sounds come in letter sheen. To produce this sound, we have to make sure there is a space between the middle part of our tongue and upper hard palate, and our teeth are closed. You can see the teeth are closed and the air comes out with a shushing sound like sheen, 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 sha, she, shu. Okay, it is a very easy letter because we pronounce this word like a shout, should, everything in English also, right? Alhamdulillah. In sifat column you will just write it is a light letter. Okay, it is a light letter and it has a shushing sound. How to pronounce it? The middle part of a tongue rises towards the upper hard palate with a little gap. It won't touch there. Okay, it will not touch the upper hard palate. If you touch, you'll not be able to pronounce the letter sheen. The sound won't come out because you are not leaving any space for the air to flow out and strike to your teeth and produce the sound shh, right? And that is why you make sure that you leave a little space. If you leave a more space, what happens? It will sound like sha, sha, sha. See, the shushing sound is very little if you leave a more space between your hard palate and the middle part of your tongue. It should not sound like sha, sha. It should sound very sharp like sheen, sha, she, shu. And this sound will produce only, okay, this sound will be produced only if you, inshallah, leave a little space. Okay, one second, few sisters are texting something. I'll just read all your messages once. Yeah, sister, inshallah, you can practice heavy letters. Okay, Let's complete all the letters first. Like tomorrow, inshallah, we'll end the complete makharij al huruf, and then inshallah we can practice it. Okay, fine. And okay, yeah, inshallah the video will be uploaded. Actually, I record the screen, but still I also edit with few animations to understand better, right? Inshallah, I'll try to upload the same video which I am explaining here in class. Alhamdulillah. So we have completed two letters, that is Jim and Sheen, recited, pronounced from the middle part of our tongue. Jim, the middle part of our tongue touches the upper hard palate, but for Sheen, the middle part of our tongue rises towards the upper hard palate with a little space between palate and your tongue. There should be a very little space, it should not be so much, and the air strikes to your teeth and it sounds like shh. Okay, Sheen, sh, she, shu, and it is a light letter. The last letter of Wasatul Lisan is the ya. Okay, the letter ya. It is pronounced from the middle part of our tongue, rising towards the upper hard palate. You can see the space between the middle part of a tongue and hard palate is more than the letter sheen. Okay, it is more than the letter sheen. So the sound of ya is very soft, like ya, ya, ye, you. But if you leave only a little space, it sounds like yeah, yeah. Okay, a vibration comes, vibrating sound will produce when you leave a very little space between your middle part of a tongue and upper hard palate. So at least you'll have to leave more space than letter sheen, so that the ya is pronounced very softly, because it is a soft letter. Ya, ye, you. Ya, ye, you. It should not sound ya, ye, you. This kind of vibration should not be produced. Okay, for that you'll have to leave a lot of space. Alhamdulillah. And this is a light letter. Okay, this is a light letter, alhamdulillah, and the letter which we are learning now, the letter ya, is a ya ghair maddiya. Just like wow, when we add sakin to it, it will convert into a huruf al mad. In the same way, when we add sakin to ya, it will convert into either huruf al mad or huruf al leen. Okay, so what we are learning now is the ya, which is pronounced from the middle part of our tongue, alhamdulillah. So these are the letters of Wasatul Lisan, which are very easy. Let's see the difference between the space which we leave in these three letters. Okay, here in Jim, there is no space left. You can see, if you leave a little space, then it sounds like Jim, Jim. It should not sound Jim. It should sound Jim, Jim, Ja, Ji, Ju. Okay, and letter Sheen. And in letter sheen, the space should be very less between your Wasatul Lisan and your hard palate. Okay, very less. If you leave it more, then shushing sound will not be produced. It should be very less, but there should be a space. If you touch it completely, then there will be no sound produced, and that is why you have to leave a little space. And when the air strikes to your teeth, it produces shushing sound like sheen, shashi, shu. And letter ya, the space between your upper hard palate and Wasatul Lisan is bit more than letter sheen, and that is why this letter ya is pronounced very softly, like ya, you, ye. It should not sound ya, you, ye. Okay, alhamdulillah, all are the light letters. Letter Jim has a special quality called qalqala when it has sakin on it, and these two, they are just the light letters, alhamdulillah. We have completed learning the three letters of Wasatul Lisan. Also, now inshallah, let's see the two letters of Haaffatul Lisan, and after that we will complete this session. Okay, fine, inshallah. From your Haaffatul Lisan, that is edges or side of the tongue, we pronounce two alphabets of Arabic. Okay, one alphabet, that is letter Dod, we include the whole Haaffatul Lisan. Okay, but for another, that is Lam, we only include the Haaffatul Lisan, which is nearer to the Tarful Lisan, which we'll see in the next slide, inshallah. First, let's see this letter Dod, because this is the most mispronounced letter, because This letter dad is not there in any language. Any language, this letter dad is not there because it is pronounced so uniquely. You can see it is pronounced from the sides of your tongue. Okay, sides of a tongue are used to pronounce this letter. How to pronounce? You can see from this image. Okay, from this image you'll understand it very well. The green part highlighted here, okay, the green part highlighted here will touch the green part highlighted in this image. Okay, what is this green part? The sides of your tongue or edges of your tongue will touch the roots or gums, inner roots and inner gums of your molar and premolar teeth. When you do so, you are creating a lock. Okay, you're locking your mouth actually completely with the tongue. Okay, and the space between your roof and the tongue is very small, and you do isti'ala also because it is a heavy letter. You'll not just touch these sides to the upper roots, but also you raise your back portion of the tongue towards the soft palate. You will not touch there. You will just rise it. While rising, it will just create a very narrow space here, and so this is the heavy letter and pronounced using side of your tongue. This part which you see, the yellow part here, will touch the yellow side, and it will touch very lightly. It should not touch very strongly. The yellow part should not touch strongly to the gums of upper incisors. If you touch it strongly, it will just sound like letter dal, inshallah, which we'll learn later. Okay, so it is a very easy letter. If you understand the articulation point, you have to touch the two sides of your tongue or edges of your tongue towards the roots or gums of your molar and premolar. Just create a lock over there. Bo, bod, bo, bi, bu, bo, bi, bu. Okay, but if you find it difficult to touch both the sides of your tongue to the upper gums, you can touch at least one. It is okay. You can either touch two sides or any one side. This side, that is left side of your tongue, will touch the left side of your molar and premolar teeth, the gums of the molar and premolar teeth. The right side will touch the right side. Okay, that will be more easy. If you want to pronounce it from one side of the tongue, it is also easy. Okay, if you want to pronounce it from both sides of the tongue, even though it is easy, alhamdulillah, if you pronounce it once, it will be easy for you. Just try it, inshallah. Dod, do, bi, do, do, bi, do. See how heavy it is. You should not sound it like da, di, do. It is very light. Dod, do, bi, do. Okay, this is the letter dod, which is pronounced from the sides of your tongue, called Haaffatul Lisan, touching the gums of your upper or the roots of your upper molar and premolar teeth. Okay, inner roots, not the outer one. The inner roots and the gums of your molar and premolar teeth, and the tip of the tongue just touches the gums of your incisor teeth. Overall, you can say the whole edges of the tongue will be involved in this letter dod. But if you are not able to pronounce from both the sides, you can just use one side. The right side will touch the right side of your upper molar and premolar teeth. The left will touch the left side, alhamdulillah. And you also have to do isti'ala, and that is why this letter dod will be pronounced very heavily. Dod, do, bi, du. Okay, alhamdulillah, and it is a heavy letter. Okay, in Sifat column you will write it is a heavy letter, and we'll see the last letter of Haaffatul Lisan, that is Lam. It is very easy because it is just like the letter L. What to do? The tip of the tongue with its sides also. It is actually a letter pronounced from the tip of the tongue, but sides are also involved, and that is why we are considering it in the Haaffatul Lisan. Okay, just a little side, not all the sides. The tip of the tongue and their sides will touch the roof, that will touch the gums of upper incisors and canine teeth. All those upper 6 teeth gums, this part of the tongue will touch to the all the gums of these upper incisor and canine teeth. Okay, it is a very easy letter. Lam, la, li, lu. Okay, lam, la, li, lu. Alhamdulillah. And in its sifat, you write it is a mushtarak letter. It is the mushtarak. You can see here. In sifat, you'll write it is a mushtarak letter. There are 3 mushtarak letter, and this is one among those 3. What is mushtarak? Mushtarak means a letter which is sometimes heavy and sometimes it is light. Like dod, it is always heavy, right? Like letter ghain and kha, they are always heavy. But letter lam is sometimes heavy and sometimes it is light. Inshallah, we will learn when it is heavy and when it is light in the future classes, inshallah. Okay, alhamdulillah, we have completed all the letters of yani Aqsal Lisan, Wasatul Lisan, and Haaffatul Lisan. Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll practice this again and then we'll learn the rest of the letters. There are 11 letters left now. In 18 letters, we have learned 2 from Aqsal Lisan, 3 from Wasatul Lisan, and 2 from Haaffatul Lisan. The remaining 11 letters are all from the tip of the tongue and they are very, very easy. Okay, so inshallah we'll complete a Lisan tomorrow, and day after tomorrow we'll have a revision of all the Arabic alphabets where you also can inshallah practice with me, and after that we'll start the Tajweed rulings. Okay, alhamdulillah, if you have any doubts you can now ask in WhatsApp. Okay, yeah, inshallah I'll upload the video. Okay, alhamdulillah. Ji wa antum fajazakumullahu khaira. So we have completed these letters, inshallah. The rest of the letters which are from Tarful Lisan we'll learn tomorrow. If you have any kind of doubts in these 7 letters, you can ask me on WhatsApp. Okay, inshallah, because the meeting time has ended. Let's end the meeting. If there is any doubt, inshallah, you can ask me on WhatsApp or in the group. If you ask the Tajweed related doubts in the group, other sisters will also get clarified, right? Alhamdulillah. So inshallah, we'll end the meeting now. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khaira.